I don't care about the subscribers. I don't care about the views. If I'm faking to get it, I don't want to be something I'm not for the sake of making y'all feel like, oh, these are the experts.
Submission is, I'm okay with where I am. I'm okay with you having me sit here. I will not move until I know that you say go.
So we tend to seek God in the same ways that we found him before, and he's not there. He's changing the way that he wants to meet you, grow you, or encounter you for the things that he's preparing you for. He don't change, but the way that you engage with him is going to change because you are growing.
We need to get to a place where we're saying, okay, is it a good thing or a God thing? Because sometimes you can't even really see that good thing being the distraction because it's so subtle and it unveils itself over time.
What is God's goal in this for me? And so then you have to think like, okay, God, I know you're using me for them, but what is it that you're trying to do with me? It just brings you back to, wow, God, all of this is about relationship. Today is an exciting episode because I don't have anything that we're going to be talking about. I am not leading us in the conversation today. The Holy Spirit is leading us in the conversation today by way of Desmia Hughes.
He's so petty, bro.
So context, because I think it's always great to give audience context that they don't usually get.
Yes.
Context is Mia had no idea that she was going to be leading the conversation today, but I think this is a great example of how it works with the Lord. It's like you constantly need to be close so you can hear instruction and close so you can know what he's going to say, what he's telling you to do, what he's speaking when it's pertaining to vision, purpose, all of the things that we're walking out. So this is just going to be like the last episode, this is going to be a real-time example of making sure that, you're checking in with the coach and you're staying close to the coach, especially on those games where you need some extra help. There are some games I feel like we always go into the sidelines like, yo, coach, help me with this. Coach, what do I need to do? This? Coach, they really on me like this. And today, honestly, even in the setup, it's like, coach, like they own me right now. I'm be honest with it. Again, be transparent and honest. I ain't feel like filming today, but I'm like, coach, you got to help me out. So that's all the leading you get. It's on you.
So he throws it to his teammate.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Pass the ball.
But yes, wonderful. I think I'm hearing the Lord just take us into this place. Let's talk about some real time recalibration that we've been going through. We all went to dinner the night before and we had a conversation. And one of the things that I learned is the beauty about recalibrating along the journey. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times we get the vision because we're teaching you guys about vision. We actually teaching you guys about navigating this journey, this process, this race that you are in and on. And so I think it's just great that we're going through our own little journey as we take you guys on a journey. And so I guess we can just talk to them today about what it looks like to actually be going through the process, carrying out the vision that God has given you, going through the planning process, just thinking that we just got it in the bag. But then we find out that we come to this place of like stagnation. And it's like, what is this? Why is it a struggle to push out what you've given me? Why am I struggling trying to figure it out? Why am I struggling trying to keep the motion going? And we came to this conversation last night. So who wants to jump in there?
No, I think we talked about it on the podcast, but definitely we talk about it just offline all the time, is the zone of grace.
Yeah.
And like staying in, I call it the zone of grace because it's nothing less than what the Lord said, but it's also nothing more than what the Lord said. Yeah. And I think last night we all kind of went through a recalibration of, okay, we might have been outside of the zone of grace, because what happens outside of the zone of grace is things don't move. Like you can't, or it's really hard to get things to move because you're just doing it all in your own flesh, your own mindset, your own thinking. And so we stepped out the zone of grace a little bit. Or I'll even take it on me. I stepped out the zone of grace, even just like the being so comfortable with what was happening, like the things that God was talking and speaking on. That's like you get ahead of yourself. Like you start moving into well, if this is working, what if we add this? Or if we're doing this, what if we bring in this? And I think what also that looks like is when God gives you vision, when God gives you something, I've noticed that your mind is level. It's steady. There's a pace to what God gives you. Even though you may feel momentum and speed, it doesn't feel like you're rushing. It doesn't feel like you're, oh, I gotta get this done. Or it's like, it doesn't have this like anxiety attached to it or this unhealthy urgency. But when you start to move out of the zone of grace, the intensity starts to be really high. You start to feel like it's almost chaotic. Like it's like your mind is and even though things may be working, you're constantly like, your mind is constantly like, well, what if I add this? Or what if I do this? Or I might need to wake up at this time to work on this. And then it's like scheduling. Like I'm over here, I'm staring at calendars like there's no way I'm doing this.
Wow, that's good.
I'm literally staring at a calendar and I'm like, I wrote it all out and then I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And then last night when we recalibrated, I realized our recalibration, even in the natural, in real time, my calendar shifted.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying the calendar because that was like a real thing that I could look at for me of what was like bothering me. But, excuse me. But like when I was looking at the calendar, it was all these different things that I had to do. It was working on like 3 different projects or lanes at one time. But then we recalibrated and we actually found what the Lord was asking us to do. And it felt like a streamlined, smooth, straightforward. It's like, okay, we meet on these days. We film on these days.
Yeah.
And we push this way. Like it was just like, it was so smooth. It was so clear. It doesn't mean it's not going to be fast paced, but it means like it doesn't feel chaotic and the intensity doesn't feel so like there's not this anxiousness to it or like, and so the recalibration was so important because also when you actually think about what it means to recalibrate is something is like, of course something is out of alignment is a lot of times it's like, it's I'm looking for the word now.
Well,
I hear adjustment.
Let me read.
Yeah.
It is adjustment.
You got a definition for
I got a
recalibrate?
definition for it.
Yeah, read the definition.
The reason I pulled it up is because everybody needs a moment of recalibration. Like, it don't matter who you are. Like, it's almost like you need to pump your brakes.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking about the times where, like, I would be riding the 10 speed going downhill. And if anybody rode a 10 speed going downhill, you don't need to pedal the bike to get faster. The hill is pushing you fast enough.
Yeah.
And so if you don't pump the brakes, eventually your chain will pop. And now you need to recalibrate.
Or you lose control.
And you lose control, and now you need to recalibrate.
Yeah.
And so this definition, it says recalibration means adjusting, fine-tuning, or correcting something that has gone off balance or out of alignment.
Boom.
So that it functions accurately or effectively again. Meaning you're not gonna always be out of alignment if you recalibrate, right? And I was telling you, I was like, man, I just feel, talking earlier, just being transparent, how you was saying like you didn't even want to film. I was telling y'all the other night, like, I don't think we should, right?
Yeah.
But that just means that I needed to be recalibrated in the spirit,
Yeah.
so that I could function again, right? And then I want to read this part. It says, to recalibrate something means to go back and measure or adjust it again so that it operates the way that it needs to. So
I think you said the word that I was kind of looking for, which was out of balance. It's like my life started to feel out of balance when we were doing the things the way God had said it. I was in balance. Everything felt balanced. Everything felt like Like, okay, I can rest and I can work. I can have idea time and I can have a time where my mind is not thinking about the business. Like, but when I was out of balance, it was hyper focused and overly focused on things. And even though it was to push forward the vision, it was not what I was supposed to be doing. So out of balance, I think, is that's that chaos that I kind of was feeling, is the out of balance. But then you also said something that I think is important. And then when reading the definition was us being recalibrated is actually a sign that you were in the will of God. Because it said to be in alignment again, which means at one point, the only reason you have to be recalibrated is because you were already calibrated. Like you are just now having to fine tune, align with where it's going and making sure that you're staying calibrated. So it's also encouraging to know that when you're being recalibrated, it's encouraging to know, okay, Lord, so there was something I was doing right. And that's what we did last night. We said it. Wow, the Lord is so good. We literally went through, for lack of a better term, the places that we needed to be recalibrated or the places that we needed help in. And then we actually talked about the places that we were in alignment with, the places we knew we had clarity on.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important to acknowledge both. And Holy Spirit led that, not even realizing it, like that we didn't just focus on my chain popped. Like, we not just focus like, no, like this is a good bike. Like we not throwing the whole bike away.
Yeah.
We just be like, let's fix the chain
Yeah.
and get it back in motion. Like that's good.
But I think what just popped up in my spirit when you said the chain, he was talking about pumping the brakes while he was going down the hill. And I'm seeing this in the terms of vision and carrying out vision when you are building momentum.
Yeah.
I remember one of my business coaches said a ball when it's going downhill is harder to catch. Right? So you got the momentum, you're flowing, but like he said, in the midst of that, it's almost like like you're being proactive. So the chain does not pop. We're not on the side with a pop chain, right? Because that takes a little bit more time. So you pump the brakes so that you're able to slow down some and pace yourself. So when you said fine tuning, it says so that you can align again back with the Lord. And I think that is such important because we were talking about yesterday, we have to be careful when it's easy for us to help somebody else. It's easy for us to pour into you, give you strategy, do mindset work with you. But then when it's time for us to do it for ourselves, we find it a little bit more difficult. And we realize it's because he wants us to not get to this place where we're dependent on the gifts and the talents and the grace that he's given us in that area to help others. But we then seek him. So that, because we have to always be before him, always seeking him. Okay, Lord, what do I do here? What do I do here? Instead of knowing like, oh, I just flow. I do this easy. It's easy for me to do this with them and them, but with me, because he needs you before him. He needs you continuing to seek him for the grace, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding. And even when you said it kind of almost felt like it got too much for you.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about it just kind of, the vision can tend to be bigger than us, than our human abilities. And so that's when he was showing me in that place, we are not limited by our human limitations. This is why we have to continue to seek him, because it's his will, his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding, his revelation, his instruction, his direction that helps us see past the human limitation.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to have the ability to co-labor with the Holy Spirit. Because when you don't have the ability to co-labor with the Holy Spirit, now you're doing what you was talking about, where you flowing off of your own, what did you say?
Your own strength.
Your own strength. So
and abilities.
If you think about co-laboring with the Holy Spirit, it's kind of like what you referenced earlier to, like being like the player of the game, right? You the player of the team. You used to showing up at every game and just playing your game. But some nights you're going to have an off night.
Yeah.
And those are the nights where it's shown that you aren't untouchable. You are human. You aren't immortal.
Yeah.
So those are the moments where you have to be before the Lord. You're supposed to always be before the Lord. But those moments where you get off balance and you feel like there's too much going on and you can't get out in front of it, those are the moments where you need to be at his feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It just always brings you back to, like, in these moments, it always brings you back to the realization, like, what is the goal of God? Like, what is God's goal in this for me? Like, I know what his goal is for them. Because he gave me something that I know is for people. Like, it's not a vision for me. Like, most of the time, I mean, of course, like, you have things where it's like, I have a vision for my family or like things like, but when it's like these callings or these purpose in life to do these things, it's so far beyond self. And so then you have to think like, okay, God, I know you're using me for them, but what is it that you're trying to do with me? And it just brings you back to, wow, God, all of this is about relationship. Like, you are a relational God. Like, all of this is about building something between us, becoming one with you. And so every time we are recalibrated, it's producing more intimacy. Like, his goal is for us to be an intimate relationship with him. And so when we're going through these recalibrations, it's teaching us and it's showing us his heart for us.
Yeah.
His heart for us is to be in relationship with him. His heart for his people through us is for them to get help. And a byproduct of us helping people is it brings fulfillment, because this is what we're born to do, right? I predestined you. And before you were in your mother's womb, I called you a prophet. So it's like these things have been placed on us. So when we walk in it, we have a sense of fulfillment. But what is a sense of fulfillment for real? It's actually a sense of connectivity to the source. It's a sense of, oh, this is what I've always been, but always been what? Connected to the Father through. Like, this is my full circle moment. Like, this is where I'm coming back to the point of, oh, God, you designed me like this. So the place that I find the most intimacy with you is back at this place. And so, yes, we're serving, and that is great. But it's what is it producing in you and in your relationship with God? Because if you have no fruit of the Spirit coming out of you walking out your vision, then you know you need recalibration.
Yeah.
Like, what I really started clocking, this is going to be probably one of our most transparent podcasts. You could probably feel it in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But one of the moments that I really knew I needed to be recalibrated is when I was talking to AJ on the phone. And I felt it. I said, I am not showing the fruits of the Spirit. I was irritated. Like, I was like, my responses were just naturally. And have you ever tried to sound kind and you sound irritated? Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, do you want to go to the store? And you're like, say no with the most graceful, kind word tone ever. No. Like, wait, what? How did that happen? Like, you thought about it before but there's no fruit.
Yeah.
You can't fake fruit.
You can't fake the fruit.
Like y'all told me, you can't fake fruit. So it's like, when I started noticing I got off the phone with him. I said, bro, I gotta pray. You probably didn't know till this moment why I stopped to pray. But like, I had to recount, because I started seeing it in relationships where I know that I don't have that issue, where I'm seeing that show up in those type of relationships. That's when I know I'm on empty. That's when I know I'm out of alignment. That's when I know I need to be recalibrated. So now I took the time and I said, okay, Lord, I don't like seeing this. I need whatever I'm doing in your walking out your vision, whatever I'm doing in your calling, I need to be able to show fruit. Every time I need to be. So whatever you need to stop me from doing, whatever I need to start doing, I just started seeking him, because I realized, okay, there's no fruit coming out of me. Then there's no way I can even serve. There's no way I can even do what you've placed on my heart to do.
Yeah. You got something? Okay, I wanted to go into even saying this. One of the things that I want everybody to recognize is when you're in this journey, going through this process of birthing out vision, walking with the Father, we have to understand that there are going to be times that things are revealed to you. Like he said, these moments where you're triggered, these moments where the fruit that is present is being revealed. Not that that means that you stop. Not that that means that you say, oh, I can't build this anymore, because I know that happens sometimes with people. But actually, it's God revealing it to you so you come to a place of maturity. You come to a place where you now deal with that issue. He's showing it to you. Because where I'm taking you, I don't need this present. And it may be in the beginning, it may be in the middle of your process, but it's so that you don't fumble the bag, right?
Yeah.
It's so that you don't mishandle his people and lose your position and get benched, right? So when these things are showing up, we don't want you to say, dang, I'm not ready. No, we want you to come to a place as a visionary to be able to birth out the vision, even while he's revealing areas in you that still need to be worked through. Because remember, we're in a process. And when you stay close to him, he said, I chasten those who I love. I train you in correction. So you're in training. Entrepreneurship is training, right? You know, when we're carrying out the race and we running our race, it's training. And sometimes as we're building, we're in training. Because remember, when you preparing for a race or you're preparing for a marathon or whatever, there are phases in between each event or whatever big moments that you're birthing out, that the training is happening and you're preparing your body, your mind. That's the same thing in birthing out business, birthing out vision, going through whatever big moment in your life. It's just that moment that we're getting to, right? That day, that event. But we are going through a training process along the way. We are training our minds. We are training our bodies. We are training our hearts. We are training our spirits.
Wow, you just spoke bars. Because all I'm hearing and all I'm seeing now is no matter what sport, no matter what game you play, you train so much more than you play.
Come on. Oh, that's so good.
And all of your training, all of the things, like we was talking about fundamentals, all of the things that you're doing is just so that when the game starts, you know what to do.
Yeah.
And you do it well.
Yes.
But after that, Kobe left the court and went back to the gym.
Yeah.
And went back to practice. Why? So he can perform when he's called on. When fourth quarter, I can perform. I can do it. So it's like, I think sometimes we look at the training as like, man, I'm doing something wrong. Man, I'm off. It's like, no, actually, you train more than you play.
Come on. That's
so
good.
if we sitting here, might as well be a sports podcast, the amount of sports analogies we have, but it's like
we got so many sports
in the word.
analogies.
But literally, like, we're training more than we play anything. So every time we get to this place where it's like, man, why do I feel like I gotta recalibrate, or why do I feel like I gotta work on this more, or why do I feel like, it's like, nah, because bro, you're doing all of this training so you are prepared for when game day comes.
Yeah.
And the thing about God is, man, game day can be at any time. So your training, you got unusual training hours. You got 12 a.m. training hours. You got 1 a.m. training hours. You got 3 p.m. training. It's like, man, why do I feel like it's something every day that I'm like fine tuning? It's because he's preparing you, because at any moment you might meet somebody and encounter somebody that needs what you have.
Yeah.
And it's time to play the game. And you don't need to be at that point. When you're in the game, when you're on the court, you can't consult the coach.
Come on.
When you're on the court, you can't be like, coach, wait. Bro, you finna get the ball took. You gonna pause too long. You gonna miss your shot. You gonna be down. Then he gonna have to call you off. You gonna be benched.
Wow.
Or you gonna just be to the sidelines. But you can't play when it's time to play. It's time to play. That don't mean we do anything, but we take what the coach has already put in us and we move.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what we were saying too, is like all of these things in intimacy and relationship, it's building the trust with the Lord. Of like, we talked about this at dinner, is where we're building trust in what he gave us, and the words that he gave us, and the plays that he's had us run, and the training that he's having us do. We're building trust in, he knows the right training programs. He knows the right times for practice. He knows how much we need to practice. He knows how much we need to recalibrate, so that he can then trust you when he sends you out into the game to play. Because then when you come in contact with, here's the other thing about God, when you come into contact with somebody he loves just as much, or come into contact who needs the same training, but they don't have the same amount of trust, they need to see the fruit in you so that you can bring them in closer to the Father.
Man, that's so good.
What I want to know is, how do we maneuver through when God is giving us an assignment and distraction comes? Because of course you got the game. This is like the playoffs, the championship game, and you locked in. But then you got the fans or just hagglers over here just saying stuff and distracting you from focusing on winning the game. So I know that when you're serving, you want to have a heart posture of the Lord and having the fruits of the Spirit. But what do you do when like you're serving and distraction comes? Like, what do you do? Because now it's like you having to deal with two things at once.
So,
and how do you identify it as a distraction?
How do you identify it
I think it's very easy to do that.
That's what you think.
I'm just talking.
That's what you think.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it, because it could come. It could come. It could come. No, seriously, it could come disguised as
a good thing.
Yeah, the enemy is not gonna give you no distraction that look like a distraction. Let's just call it.
It's gonna look like it's in alignment.
It's gonna look like it's right. It's gonna look like it's right what you needed at the right time.
And so I want to talk about that.
Look, a new job offer, more money. Right at the time I felt like I needed to upgrade my bank account.
I think this is so good.
Distraction. When you're building your business, you get offered a new job, new position, more time, more hours that you got to work. But it's like,
it's just got to be the blessing.
It's got to be the blessing.
You know, so I want to talk about it because it's a lot of people out there that don't know the difference between something that's aligned with the Lord's path for your life and just a simple distraction.
Okay.
What's good and what's God?
What's good and what's God is so good.
What?
I want to say this. I really want to wait, but I want to say this. This is where we talked about getting to a place where now we begin to ask first in all things, even if it's something as small as I won't even say that statement. But even if it's something as small as, can I get this for this person? Can I do this for this person? Can I go here? Is this okay? And I think this is where we have to get to the point where we're consulting the coach. And I know we keep talking about the coach, but more so we're consulting the one who gave you the vision.
Right.
Consulting the one who gives you direction.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Holy Spirit, the one who's our guider, our teacher, our comforter, the one who guides us into all truth, wise counsel. We need to get to a place where we're saying, okay, I think this is what we all learned. Is this okay? A good thing. Is it okay? Is it a good thing or a God thing? Because it's a thin line. I'm telling you guys. Sometimes the reason why we say it's a thin line is because sometimes you can't even really see that good thing being the distraction because it's so subtle and it unveils itself over time. My
I
God.
think a lot of things. But to just give probably the best advice. Because here's the thing. We not going to sit up here with all these cameras and act like we completed training. No such thing.
We're in training.
No such thing. We've been through a lot of training.
Yes.
But until that man come back,
Come on.
or until I go there, that training is I am continuing to run the race.
Come on.
So if I'm continuing to run the race, that means I'm continuing to train and equip and prepare for the race so I can run it well.
Wow.
So I'm not going to speak on this like we just have all the answers, but my advice from personal experience
Yes.
is anytime that you feel, like we talked about earlier, anytime that you feel out of balance, you shouldn't be making decisions.
Yeah.
One. But even if you do feel in balance, it's really a time to call a timeout.
Yeah.
It's time. If it feels like this play could be the one, and people say, oh man, let's make this play or let's do it. Bro, if this feel like the play to make, call timeout.
Yeah.
Because it don't hurt you to call timeout before you make a play that could change everything.
Wow.
And if it's from the Father, that timeout is just going to confirm everything that you were doing, and you might even get a little extra knowledge on how to do it.
Come on.
But if not, when you call that timeout, you really gonna be like, oh, this isn't where I need to go. So I think calling a timeout, because I also think don't get too addicted or too invested in what's feeling good and what's working and what feels right.
Yeah.
To where you start trusting what feels right.
Wow.
Because we trust what feels right a lot of times. We go off these feelings of, man, I just
follow your heart.
Man, I just feel good about this. I'm just gonna go with what feels right. Trust my
your gut. Trust your gut.
Like I'm just like, you do all these things, and it says the heart is deceitful above all things. So it's like it can feel good and it can feel right. I mean, yesterday we had the choice to go to 2 different restaurants. They both felt good. They both felt right. But we literally stopped and asked the Holy Spirit where he wanted us to go, and we ended up staying at the place, and it was just the atmosphere was good, the service was amazing, the food was fire.
Yes.
The food was fire. Did I say that already? The
Shout
food
out,
was
shout
fire.
out to Gianno's and Mac.
I think
Sponsor us.
Gianni's and Mac. Shout out
Sponsor
to
us.
Sponsored
No.
by Gianni's and Mac. No, I'm just playing.
But even then, it's like they both didn't feel bad, but we just felt like we felt like staying, they both didn't feel bad, but we stayed where we felt we were supposed to stay at. You know, we made the choice of where do you want us to have this meeting? That's really what it was. I think the most important thing though is taking your time. Like to me, it's all about slowing down, but taking your time and waiting to hear what to do. Because the natural human, this is the practical. This is like what Mio will talk about. Like the practical is our natural human flow is to be moving, especially when things are like going well and you want to maintain oh man, this feel good. You want to keep moving forward. So it feels counterproductive to stop something that's working well and slowing down, and the Lord may not tell you what to do for 2 days, for 3 days. And so you like, well, it's been 3 days. He ain't said nothing. Now I'm just going to move on it. No, that means he ain't said nothing.
Yeah, one of my closest friends said that they said that they were so used to like moving around and like making deals and stuff like that, that when the Lord finally sat them down, like they just kept going back to God, like, okay, Lord, is it time yet? And he's like, nah, just sit. And then they finally got to a place where they just submitted and just sat, and like they probably heard more of God than they had ever had when they was consulting God, but just moving when they wanted to move.
And I'm even hearing that's a heart posture, because that heart posture, is it time yet? That's really a place of anxiousness. That's not a place of rest, and it's actually not a place of trust, because you're not trusting that I'm just going to sit here. Submission is, I'm okay with where I am. I'm okay with you having me sit here. I will not move until I know that you say go. Yes. And even we can even bring in last night, like when we consulted God, we heard two different things, but you heard and you questioned. But a lot of that reasoning was from something internal. The emotion. Sometimes our emotions can be, so I don't know, or you're thinking about the other person, thinking about people pleasing, right? Thinking about yourself or your own selfish gain, shall I say. And we were talking about this. This is that realigning, readjusting ourselves to make sure that, yes, we had a whole pause in motion, but it wasn't no motion that wasn't happening. Motion was happening. It wasn't happening the way we thought that it should. It was actually motion happening within us. It was motion happening from God, bringing situations, and it might have took 3 days, right? It may take a week, right? But you need to constantly be in a place where you are submitting truly in your heart to, Lord, what are you saying? And being okay if you hear nothing in that area, because it might take a little bit of time for him to bring understanding, revelation, direction in regards to this particular thing. So what are you breathing upon? And I want to take us into this, because this is what we talk about a lot. A lot of times the reason why we're out of alignment and the motion begins to stop and stagnation comes in is because we thinking we're building a good thing or doing a good thing, but it's actually not what he's breathing upon. So we need to make sure, Lord, where are you breathing? Because yes, you told me to build this, and yes, I'm being obedient, and yes, I'm moving, and I feel like I'm doing it right. On our own strength, on our own knowledge, on the skills that we know or we seen. They said, this is how you do this when it comes to coaching, or when it comes to opening a business, or when it comes to launching a product. This is how it's supposed to go, right? But God said, I'm ready to pioneer new moves. Right? And we talked about that. So we got to understand why it's so important to wait, rest, submit, and listen to his voice, so that we understand, yes, I gave you this vision, but this time with you, I want to do it a different way.
Yeah. And one of my ways of doing that is just asking God, like, what's your way? What's, Lord, like, even if it's something simple like me editing a video, like, and I start thinking of like so many ways, oh, I could do this way, I could do this way.
Yeah.
I just stop and I say, what's your way of doing this? Because he said my ways
are higher than your ways.
Bro,
come on.
You took it. Yeah.
So like
my thought.
So like my way and my thoughts can't even fathom. Like I could do it.
Come on.
I could do it like in my own strength, and it'll probably be straight.
This is so good.
But bro, if I wait and ask for God's way, bro, he gonna cook, bro.
Bro, you're bringing us into something, because all of this is it's really coming from the place, and this is a place that we talk about in like the phases that we go through when walking out vision, is when it feels too big. And one of the things that happens when it feels too big is you have to realize that he says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard. So why would you think you know how to do what no eye has seen and no ear has heard?
You better say something.
And so, wow. So it's like you saying his ways are not our ways. So you saying, what are your ways? This is the part where I always, when I'm coaching people, I'm always telling them, one of the practices to keep you in this place of relationship, of clarity, and of peace is to invite God into the familiar. Is the things that we do naturally or all the time, habitually, regularly, that we'll be like, oh, just set up the cameras. Bro, we stopped filming because you said, Holy Spirit said, switch your shot. We invited God into what we already do, the familiar, and you make sure that it's still the way that he wants to do it.
Yeah.
You can't get so comfortable in the way that he, like my friend always says, like,
that's so good.
He says, he may not meet you the same way that he met you last season. So we tend to seek God in the same ways that we found him before, and he's not there because he's changing the way that he wants to meet you, grow you, or encounter you for the things that he's preparing you for. He don't change, but he'll change his position for you.
Come on.
Like, he's the same, but the way that you engage with him is going to change because you are growing. And so inviting him into the familiar is actually a place of maturity of where you're realizing, no, I need him in everything. This feels too big. Why? Because I'm not supposed to be trying to figure any of this out in my own strength. I'm not supposed to know naturally how this is supposed to go. I'm supposed to seek the Father and seek the people that he's placed, like what we did last night. I didn't just seek, I sought the Father for the rest and the clarity and the understanding. And what was the clarity and understanding of me needing to just focus on relationship and not what the relationship provides.
That's good.
That was one. And I had to get to that place before number 2 came. And it was like, now meet with the people I placed around you. And just really, he was saying, just serve, like just find a way to open the door for them. Like we talked about when we were at our meeting, is like, what do you guys need in your areas? Not even just with Full Circle, but in your businesses or your ministry. Because that's what he was just saying to do. I didn't know why, but it actually prepared our hearts to be positioned to even take the pressure off of, how can I figure this out? And we just left room for the Lord to just move through the conversation, flow how we want, and put food in our bellies so we could just like enjoy it, because we get so tight and wound up about, man, the Lord done put this on me and now I gotta execute so right. It's like, if you didn't get the idea by yourself, why would you feel like you had to carry it out by yourself? That doesn't even make sense. You didn't conjure up vision. It was revealed to you.
Yeah.
So if this was revealed to you, the instructions will be revealed as well.
Man, that's so good, because even what I heard was, it's in the simple things. And a lot of times we got such a big vision that was revealed to us. But when we say his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts, it's actually in the simple things, right? He said, I take the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And a lot of times we think we wise in our own way, in our own right, because we know skills and we know how to do, like you said, those familiar things. But I'll take those foolish things, the things that you wouldn't even thought, because it's no way you want me to go that simple with this big vision, right? No way. And he's like, yes, way.
Yeah.
It was literally just that simple.
Something as simple as Nike putting white shoelaces in a shoe. You might think, no, we need
lime green.
They gotta be reflective lime green too. Like nah. It's simple. And I think that's, I'm gonna stop us here too, but I think that is a thing that we can do as well, as we begin to, when we put ourselves into it. This is a way, we giving you all a lot of practicals. A way to clock if you're putting yourselves into it is you're starting to complicate a simple God.
And overthink.
And you have no motion.
And overthink.
Yeah, overcomplicate, because the gospel, the way that the Lord works, there's a clarity. It's a simple way that you can, he wants you to understand. Like if he says, come to me like a child, that means there's a simplicity to what he gives you.
Wow.
And so it's not complicated.
Yeah.
It's like that commercial. It's not complicated. It's easy. I'll show you how to take the step. Like, just take the step. Like, but we overcomplicate something because we start to put ourselves into it. We overthink it because we're starting to put our flesh, but when really God is asking us to do is, what did I tell you? What did I give you? And what am I breathing on? Like, I'm not going to give y'all all the details. Some things we're going to leave a mystery, but there are some things that we were working on, and it was clear what he was breathing on from the moment we first did it.
Yeah.
And then we still was like, and then what else? It's like, no, bro. Like, why y'all getting so excited?
Yeah.
Focus on where I'm at. Like, that's the other thing is, if how we were saying, where is God meeting you in this season? If you find where he's meeting you, don't go start looking for other places to meet him as well. That's like, no, man, he's meeting me right here, but I'm gonna go see if he also meets me over here. I told Adrian, I said, I am no longer going out of alignment to go see if something is in alignment. That doesn't even make sense.
Wow.
That makes no sense. I'm no longer going to seek outside of where he is to see if this thing can be added into where he's at.
Whatever is for me has to fall in line.
Has to fall in line with the direction he's taking me.
And all I can think about is coach just told you to run left and run right. And you said, ooh, I'm an alley hoop. Me too. You know, like, no.
You finna hit the street ball, the street ball moves. Well, I'm going to close this out. Or I'm actually, sister.
And I really think even that you put it on me, he's teaching me that sometimes the real life how can I say it? The real time lessons are the lessons that you share.
Yeah.
And sometimes we like to hold those lessons or not talk about it. And I feel like the Lord is even telling me, like, no, these moments that you're having, these breakthroughs, these moments that you're getting, these aha moments, these are the moments that you come and you share, because you don't know who. It's just an authenticity in that moment that we wait 3 months from now, we might leave some stuff out, right? But okay, y'all ready?
No, you was good. You was flowing.
Oh, I really wasn't for the video.
That wasn't for the video?
No, I was just talking to y'all.
Oh, that was good. Because I had just said in another video that I told you I recorded 2 videos yesterday. And another one, the Lord was sharing with me. He was like, so many of us are trying to be something we're not in a place that is only supposed to be for who we were made to be. Like, how you gonna be something you're not in a place where it only works if you are who you're supposed to be?
Wow.
And you're trying to overcompensate. So you saying these, like, just being authentic and sharing those things is like, we sometimes, that's why I said we ain't got all the lessons. We ain't been through all the training because I don't want to be something I'm not for the sake of making y'all feel like, oh, these are the experts, so I want to watch it. I don't care about the subscribers. I don't care about the views. If I'm faking to get it,
come on.
I'd rather you see the God in me than to see the me in me.
That's good.
Like, and so you sharing those real life lessons, or us having these real life, real time conversations, is actually what makes us an expert in being yielded, like being submitted. I'm an expert in yielding. I'll tell you that right. I may not be an expert in every area, but I'm an expert in, all right, Lord, I don't want to do this on my own anymore, because I'm tired. I get tired of the straining and the striving and the brain exercises that I have to go through.
Yeah.
And the lack of rest that I feel. Like, bruh, I can't teach you how to be the best blank, but I can teach you how to just trust God, lean on God, and yield to God, because that is the journey that he's taking me in real time. So I just want to add that, because what you said was good.
Yes. So I think to just close this out, that's so good, is understanding that the farmer is the first partaker of the fruit. And so us doing this podcast, having these conversations, going through the real life journey, is what makes it beautiful for everybody that is receiving the information, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, to understand that the journey is not perfect, that it's not going to always be easy, and it's not going to always just flow the way that we think that it should flow. But when we allow God back into his rightful place, when we seek the one who gave us the vision, when we take a pause and recalibrate and say, hold on, something don't feel right. You know, when we take the moments to celebrate. And that really taught me a lot last night. No, let's celebrate what we have accomplished. We might not be at the end, at the destination that we desire to be, but the fact that we are here today and we accomplish A, B, C, and D, take those moments to celebrate. Then take a moment to say, okay, where do I need a little bit more clarity? Where am I not sure? Taking those moments to ask yourself these questions along the way is what brings those adjustments. It's what brings those realignments, those fine tunings. Because in the place where you now celebrating, you are now giving God thanks for what he's already done. Right? Keeping a heart of gratitude and thanksgiving. And then after that place, we go into now assessing. He said, kings seek out a thing. You seek out a matter. So where the things that you are unsure, the things that you might still need some clarity on, seek it out. Go before him, write it out, talk it over with others, or come in our community and allow us to come into this space and ask those questions. Come into this space and say, hey, I'm unsure, and be in amongst a community where you can gain clarity and have someone that's holding your hand in the process, that's also cheering you on along the way, but also has went a little bit ahead of you, and we can help you in these spots that you get a little stuck.